This is WKYT This Morning.
Kentucky Morning start here on WKYT. We're glad you're with us. Good morning. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope you're having a fabulous start to your morning.
And we have a lot going on today. Now at 6:30, Orlando is facing yet another tragedy this morning. Rescue teams are searching for a toddler who was attacked and dragged away by an alligator at a Walt Disney World resort.
Multiple shots were fired outside a Lexington Walmart this morning. The latest from police as they search for one of the suspected shooters.
And this morning, police are still trying to figure out what led to a deadly crash that left a portion of the Bluegrass Parkway shut down for hours.
We have a light shower in Harlan County, but other than that, we are dry this morning. It actually looks really nice outside. Temperatures are in the upper 60s, lower 70s. We'll finish off in the 80s once again, but those strong, potentially severe storms are my focus in the forecast, so I'll talk all about that further detail coming up.
All right, see you then.
Well, we have some new information on the search for a toddler who was dragged into the water by an alligator at a Disney World resort.
Very disturbing story. This new info just coming in. Our Michelle Chamberlain is at our alert desk with details. Michelle.
Right now, officials are speaking about this child. Jeff Williamson of the Orange County Sheriff's Office says that child has not been located so far this morning. And that child, a 2-year-old boy who was pulled into the Seven Seas Lagoon at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort last night. Here's a look at that man-made lake. The lake has a beach-like entrance with sand on the edge where children often play. The Orange County Sheriff's Office says the toddler was playing on the edge of the water when he was attacked by the gator. That gator around 4 to 7 feet long. The dad grabbed his son during the attack but could not wrestle that gator away. The child hasn't been seen since, and more than 50 officers are looking for that boy in the area.
The father entered the water and he tried to grab the child. Was not successful in doing so. At some point, I'm told that the mother also may have entered the water. So the parents diligently tried to get the child.
The Sheriff's Office says there are no signs warning of gators in the area, but there are signs posted that say no swimming. Now, this family is from Nebraska and arrived in Orlando for their family vacation on June 12th. Bill, Rebecca, just another terrible, tragic story out of Orlando this morning. Back to you guys.
That it is, and very disturbing. And of course, the latest on this coming up from CBS this morning. If we get any more details out of the briefing going on right now, we'll let you know here in our newscast. And we are learning more this morning about the gunman behind that mass shooting at an Orlando nightclub.
Investigators turning their attention to Noor Salman, who is married to Omar Mateen, the gunman who went on that shooting rampage inside the Pulse nightclub in Orlando over the weekend. Police say Salman told them that she and Mateen had gone to the gay nightclub before. She also said she tried to convince him not to go through with an attack. Patrons of the nightclub also say they had seen Mateen at Pulse before.
He used to come in the bar about on the weekend sometimes.
Well, sources tell CBS News not only did Mateen call 911, but also left a Facebook post pledging his allegiance to ISIS. All this while randomly shooting into the crowd. Tomorrow, President Barack Obama will be in Orlando to pay his respects to the victims.
In the hours following Sunday's shooting, dozens of people were taken to Orlando Regional Medical Center, a trauma hospital that is just blocks away from the Pulse nightclub. Doctors have now talked about how they used valuable training and called in extra staff to treat all of the patients and save lives. And officials at UK Hospital in Lexington, another trauma center, say there is a lot that they can learn from Orlando.
Get information back from the Amtrak derailment, the Boston Marathon, so that all trauma centers across the country can learn from those experiences, and so it helps our preparation.
As doctors across the nation are learning from this tragedy, they say you can too. For example, if you're ever in a situation where someone is bleeding out from a wound, Dr. Talley says the best thing to do is to apply direct pressure to the wound, and that will help slow down the bleeding until help arrives. New this morning on WKYT, Lexington police are questioning 2 men after an overnight shooting incident. Witnesses describe seeing people in 2 cars shooting at each other outside the Walmart along Richmond Road. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is joining us live now to explain what happened in that. Hillary?
Good morning, Bill. That's right. 2 men were brought down here to police headquarters early this morning to be interviewed. Just after 1 o'clock this morning, officers heard gunshots coming from the parking lot of the Walmart on Richmond Road.
Officers then saw a car speeding off. They then did a traffic stop on that vehicle just down from Walmart. They say there they saw bullet holes in the back of that vehicle. The two men inside were taken into custody. They told officers they were at that Walmart to buy heroin. Police did find 2 weapons and heroin in that car. Witnesses telling investigators people in that vehicle were shooting back and forth with someone in another vehicle. Now, police are still looking for that vehicle. It is described as a tan SUV. At this point, no word on any charges that the 2 brought here to police headquarters might be facing. Live in Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Thanks so much, Hillary. New this morning, it looks like tuition is going up at the University of Kentucky. The Herald Leader reports that next week the UK Board of Trustees expected to approve a 5% tuition increase for in-state students. But despite losing more than $12 million in state funding, President Eli Capilouto is also asking that UK employees receive a 2% pay raise. Well, our recent string of dry weather ended yesterday afternoon. Of course, showers moved into central Kentucky yesterday. It looks like you can expect a little bit more of that today.
Yeah, maybe more numerous and maybe stronger storms. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is in our First Alert Weather Center with a heads up on that.
Yeah, that's our main focus for today are those strong storms and maybe even the possibility of some severe weather later on this afternoon. 69 now in Frankfort, in the capital city in Franklin County. You go down south into Laurel County and also Breathitt County. I'm not seeing much of an issue whatsoever. Work your way back toward the Mountain Parkway, no problems. We are getting a couple of blips there in Harlan County and also that part in southern Indiana. That's what you got to watch out for here in the next few hours, because that could spark up an isolated thunderstorm that could move through. Other than that, we're going to stay mainly, not fully, but mainly dry through the morning hours. It's really afternoon and evening as we span out. The big picture here is the system's still well back toward the north. However, look toward places there in Illinois. That's where these thunderstorms are sparking up, and that is where that front is located. It slowly but surely glides toward our region, and we will experience some storms later on today. I'm going to show you when the front moves through, when we'll start to feel better temperatures, and also when those storms move on out, coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Micah. New on WKYT this morning, police say a serial burglary suspect was arrested after an overnight break-in in Lexington. Someone broke into the Speedway on Tates Creek in Old Mount Tabor around 2:30 in the morning. Police spotted the suspect's car and followed it to Woodhill Drive, where the driver bailed. He was arrested after a short chase. Police say he's a burglary suspect in several counties.
Well, new this morning, police are looking for a Johnson County inmate who was released from jail by mistake. The sheriff there says David Smallwood walked out of the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center after claiming to be another inmate who was being released on bond. The jail realized the mistake after about 10 minutes, but Smallwood is still missing this morning. Police say he may be driving an older black Toyota car with a white door. Well, closing arguments in a high-profile Lexington murder trial will be beginning this morning. Mark Taylor is charged with murder and kidnapping in the 2013 death of Alex Johnson. The jury heard from Taylor for the first time during yesterday's hearing. Taylor blamed Timothy Ballard for beating Johnson. He also told the jury that he tried to revive Johnson.
I went back around to the driver's side and pulled Alex out, laid him long ways on the ground. Tried to give him chest compressions. He was not responsive.
WKYT's Victor Puente will once again be live tweeting from the courtroom when the trial resumes this morning, and we'll have his reports on our newscasts as well.
A deadly crash in Nelson County is under investigation this morning. This happened on the Bluegrass Parkway near the Boston exit when a minivan crossed the median and crashed into a semi. Police say a man and a woman were ejected from the minivan. We're told that man died. The woman's condition is unknown. The truck driver was taken to Hardin Memorial Hospital.
Another story new on WKYT this morning. State police have charged Brandon Moran with 4 counts of distributing child pornography. The 25-year-old was arrested at his home in Maysville.
Well, police have arrested a man accused of kidnapping an 11-year-old mentally challenged girl from a Knox County home. Donald Rice is charged with kidnapping. Family members say the girl somehow exited their home Monday night. Rice was waiting for her. Police say he then convinced the girl to get into his truck. Neighbors who saw Rice's truck helped police track him down shortly after. Police say the girl was not injured. Well, a newly released report says fentanyl is becoming a bigger problem in Kentucky. The report from the Kentucky Office of Drug Control Policy says the drug was a factor in more than 400 deadly overdoses in Kentucky last year. That's up from 121 overdoses the previous year. The report says many heroin addicts are consuming fentanyl and may not even know it. Overall, the number of deadly overdoses in Kentucky rose last year. You can see a complete report on WKYT.com.
Thousands of active and retired members of the United Mine Workers of America held a rally in Lexington. Workers from 7 different states gathered to demand action on legislation they say would preserve retired coal miner health care benefits and prevent pension funds from collapsing. Union officials say around 10,000 Kentucky retirees could see their pensions cut without some congressional action. In a statement, Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell said that McConnell is committed to helping ensure retirement security. Time this morning is 6:41 on WKYT.
Yeah, we hope yours is a great day, a good Wednesday for you. Let's get a check of traffic.
See if that's any issue. And here's Officer Don with a check on live drive traffic. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Well, no wrecks, and we just checked the construction project on Todd's Road between Man-O-War over to the I-75 overpass. We're okay through there. Police are standing by to make sure people are slowing down as they need to so the workers can do their thing. Live look at overall Lexington traffic this morning. Inbound Nicholasville Road. Versailles Road looks great from the county line inbound, and so does Winchester Road. As you're going to look outside, it's a beautiful morning so far there at Nicholasville and Rosemont Garden. Live look courtesy of the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government Traffic Cam. As far as drive times are concerned, we're holding our own right now coming in from Jessamine County. No major issues on the north side. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, and drivers and cyclists sharing the road appropriately this morning, as we saw right there. Now you can get the latest traffic and weather info anytime with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. Download that for free in the app or Google Play stores. And we have a lot more news coming up on WKYT this morning, including our top stories.
It's a busy news day here. A 10-year-old boy making sure his fellow hospital patients always have toys to play with. We'll show you how when WKYT This Morning returns.
Yeah, that's a really cute story coming up in just a few minutes. Another thing we'll be talking about, these storms. We're going to be tracking these conditions. Are they favorable for severe weather? Well, I'm going to discuss that and show you an hour-by-hour forecast coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
It's a really good looking start to the day. A couple of blips in Harlan County, but other than that, I don't see any issues whatsoever as you're walking out the door, jumping in the car, and taking off to work or wherever it may be that you are heading. It's dry outside, and temperatures don't feel all that bad. Upper 60s, lower 70s. I mean, when you start off that warm, you know that something's on the way. That's just not normal for any time of year. We look toward the east, and there's some clouds located over toward the east, but for the most part, we are clear and calm. Things look pretty good. You do want to watch this little bitty piece of energy there in southern Indiana, because what that could do is that could spark up a couple of showers and thunderstorms just to the south of that. And if that happens, that's going to roll right into our western zones. Frankfort heads up within the next couple of hours. If things do spark up there, you'll get some rain out of that. But that's not our severe weather threat. The front is right over us at this moment. You'll start to see some warm air kick into gear and push that front on out of the way, and then we'll see that cold front get a little bit closer. Now, it's not going to roll through today, but it will throw showers and thunderstorms into our region. So the commute this morning, I'm not seeing a problem. Lunchtime, there are a couple of rumbles of thunder, but for the most part, we're still dry during lunch. And then we hit the afternoon, and that's when you're looking for scattered showers and thunderstorms. Strong thunderstorms, the difference between strong and severe weather. Strong thunderstorms, you're talking about heavy downpours, you're talking about lightning like we had yesterday, and even some gusty winds here and there. But when you're talking about severe weather, you're talking damaging winds, you're talking large hail. That's what we could expect today. Let me take you hour by hour and help you plan out your day. Watch this. This is probably the graphic you really want to see for today. So we get into noontime. Like I said, most are dry, but we cannot rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm. It's really after that we actually see stuff spark up. So anywhere from 1 p.m. to about 9 p.m. is when the storms pop up and move on in. But if you're looking for a severe weather threat, the main timing on severe weather threat, which like I said is no widespread, but there will be a few severe cells possible, it's going to be that 4 or 5 p.m. to about 9 p.m. Look at that diving on in here. And there's 9 p.m. So the farther it gets down toward the south, the farther it gets away from its main energy source. Remember, is that front well back toward the north. So then we head off toward midnight and it's long gone. Things really fade away. So anywhere from about 5 p.m. to about 9 p.m., that's really the time to watch. Time you're coming home from work or whatever it may be. Tomorrow, we still don't get that front moving through. Remember, the front moves through late in the day on Thursday, which allows a lot of that heating to go on. We're right around 90 degrees, and we cannot rule out an isolated storm or two there in the forecast. So it's not as good of a chance tomorrow, but a couple of rumbles are still there. But then the front moves through Thursday night into Friday morning. That is going to give us the opportunity to really drop some temperatures. We're at 82 there on Friday, low humidity Friday into the weekend, guys. Cowbell Days going on in Stanford in Lincoln County. A big festival going on down there Friday into the weekend. Perfect weather for it.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Ring those bells down there.
That's right.
All right.
More
Mike,
cowbell.
Appreciate it. You got it.
Remember that one?
Oh, absolutely.
That was a
fun.
good one.
6:49 is our time this morning.
So there's a little 10-year-old boy doing some good. He's from California, leading a crusade for toy lovers everywhere.
Love the story. Caden Hoven suffers from kidney disease himself and has been in and out of hospitals for most of his life. Well, during a recent stay, he went to grab a toy from a hospital's toy room, but he found the cabinet nearly empty. That's when he decided to take some action.
I feel pretty bad for most people that don't have a lot of stuff to choose from. So I thought, why not do a donation?
After being released from his hospital stay, Caden held a toy drive at his school, and the results, take a look. They speak for themselves. He received hundreds of toys and cash donations as well. Caden said he now hopes to make the drive an annual event.
Very cool. It's kind of like Jared's Joy Cart, right? At Kentucky Children's Hospital.
Right, absolutely, which was started in a very simple way like that.
Neat.
And it's really grown. So what about that?
Doing some good at such a young age.
6:50 the time now, 10 before 7 on WKYT this morning.
We have some more news. Stick around with us.
6:53 the time on WKYT this morning, and coming up, CBS This Morning live with the latest from Florida on the recovery efforts after an alligator grabbed a 2-year-old boy and dragged him to a lake at a Disney resort.
And new information on what the Orlando shooter did the day of the attack.
All of it just a few minutes away now on CBS This Morning. Well, after more than 9 hours of searching, that 2-year-old little boy still missing after being attacked by an alligator at the Walt Disney Resort.
Scary situation. Investigators in Orlando just updated the media. Fish and Wildlife says 4 alligators have been pulled from that lagoon at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, but they say there is no evidence that those gators attacked the toddler. Police say the boy's father was injured while trying to save his son. More than 50 officers are out looking for that little boy.
Today we'll all be hoping for the best outcome in that, but it looks very tough. Federal investigators are focusing their attention on Omar Mateen's wife as part of the investigation into the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando. Officials say Noor Salman admitted that she and her husband visited the club before. She also says she tried to stop Mateen from carrying out the shooting rampage that left 49 clubgoers dead. Salman could face criminal charges herself.
A vigil will be held today at UK to remember those who died in the mass shooting at that Orlando nightclub. The event is hosted by Violence Intervention and Prevention. It'll be at noon in the Lexmark room in the main building at UK. The public is welcome to attend.
Lexington Mayor Jim Gray will be holding a news conference this morning to discuss ways to keep firearms out of the hands of suspected and known terrorists. Gray, who is the Democratic nominee for the United States Senate, is also expected to address Republican Senator Rand Paul's efforts in the matter. That news conference, which is being held at Paul's office outside there, expected to begin at 10 o'clock this morning.
Democratic presumptive nominee Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders met in Washington last night. They're trying to broker a deal towards party unity leading up to the Democratic National Convention. Clinton wrapped up the Democratic primary season with a big win Tuesday in the District of Columbia.
Americans appear to be more charitable than ever before. A new report out this morning reveals that Americans donated a record-breaking $373.3 billion to charity last year. That is 4% more than the previous record, which was set in 2014. The report looked at the charitable actions of individuals, estates, foundations, and companies. Why the record amount of giving? The report points to the recovering economy and stabilizing household finances as factors in that. Well, we're going to be watching weather today closely.
We are. We have a chance for some severe weather out there. Let's get a check-in with Micah for the latest.
Yeah, and the best chance for that, as you can see there on the screen, the slight chance is the better opportunity than, say, marginal. Marginal is a very low-end severe weather risk. That means southeastern zones, you don't have a great chance at seeing severe weather. However, central, north, and western areas, that is the best chance to actually see a couple of isolated severe cells. As I have said all morning long, this is no outbreak type of situation. Nonetheless, you'll get some storms, you'll get heavy downpours, you'll get lightning and gusty winds, but also the possibility of some damaging winds too. That's going to be our main player. By noontime, it's an isolated threat. It's afternoon off into the evening. There's 4 p.m. and you can see scattered thunderstorms out and about. And then we head off into late afternoon into the evening hours as these storms dive on in here, guys. I would say the best chance for severe weather will be anywhere from, say, 4 p.m. to about 9 p.m. That is your best bet. So if you're trying to get the kids out the doors today, you want to do it during the morning hours, afternoon, evening, a little iffy.
All right, before that gets this way, Hey, we thank you for being with us. Nobody's more up to date than you to start your day.
Bye-bye.